Hey everybody, this is the Gardening Moose from Garden Gateway, and today I want to just take a minute and talk to you about some of the problems that you can run into with your hanging baskets, specifically with petunias, million bells, and geraniums. If you take a look here on my right, this is an example of a hanging basket that is suffering from a few different problems that I'm going to point out to you and talk to you about how you can take care of. The first one that I want to show you is right here on these leaves that have nice dark green veins on them, but you see a lot of light yellow tissue on the inside of that. That is a nutrient deficiency. It's actually a lack of iron. Your plant's not getting enough iron. It can be caused by a couple of things. It can be caused by the plant literally not getting enough iron or being able to get it. It can be caused by your pH being too high and the iron's tied up chemically in the soil so the plant can't get it out of the soil. It can also be caused by overwatering. And so if you're putting too much water on there and pushing all your nutrients through there, a lot of times you'll see that iron deficiency. This is actually a fairly easy problem to solve. What we do with our fertilizer regimen is we will use a product called Miller's Ferra Plus. This is an EDDHA chelated form of iron. So this is a form of iron that is readily available for plants at high pH and available for the plants to actually take up and absorb into their foliage. And this is easy to use. We'll mix it in water. We use about a teaspoon per gallon of water, and we'll push it through the basket when we do our watering. And after 2 or 3 applications, that'll clear up that iron chlorosis with no problem at all. Now, the second problem I want to talk to you about that I see going on with this hanging basket is if you look down in here, well, this is a good example up at the top here. You can see how you're seeing all those white flecks on there. That is actually the skeletons or exoskeletons of the aphids. If you look really hard in there, it might be hard to show on the camera, but you can actually see little aphids crawling around on this plant. And they're everywhere on there. And aphids, of course, are an insect. They pierce through the foliage of the plant, through the stems of the plant, and they're sucking the life out of your plants. It's a common thing that we run into. It's not a hard insect to treat. I prefer using a product called Fertilome Triple Action for treating those. This is neem oil. It is an organic solution to controlling your aphids. Neem is just an extract from the neem tree, and the oil actually works as an insecticide, a miticide, and a fungicide, so it'll kill all 3. And that's why I really like the product. It is not a harsh chemical. It's very safe to use and very easy to use. I recommend only doing it very early in the morning or late in the evening. Usually 2 applications, 7 to 10 days apart, will take care of it. As always with any insecticide, you always want to make sure you read the label thoroughly and follow those directions exactly, because that is a legal binding agreement, and if you use the product, you're required to follow those restrictions. And so there's one other problem going on with this that is very common with petunias. If you look at this plant as a whole, you can see that there's very few flowers on the plant. And this time of year, so it's mid-July, it's actually towards the end of July, I guess, we see this problem a lot. People come into the nursery and ask us about it all the time. I want to show you an example here. So this is a petunia flower. And if you look at that hole right through the middle and you fold this over, if this flower was whole, you would see that that hole is kind of a mirror image, goes all the way through. And what has happened is a little caterpillar has eaten this flower as it's grown and developed, and before it unfolded, it ate all the way through both sides of the flower. Now eventually those caterpillars got bigger and they eat the flowers all the way around. And so what's happening with this plant as a whole is the caterpillars are eating all of your flowers and all of your flower blossoms, and so that's why you're losing your color on there. This is easy to treat as well. I use a product by Natural Guard. This is also an organic solution. It's called Caterpillar Killer. The active ingredient is referred to as BT, or Bacillus thuringiensis, and this is a product that the caterpillars ingest, and it kills them from inside. This is caterpillar specific, so it's not going to affect all of your other insects. But as always, I always recommend that you spray early morning or late evening. You want to get it done before the bees are out and coming to your plants. BT works extremely well. I usually, when I get a basket this severe, I will treat at least twice, if not 3 times. Once right away, 7 days in between applications. Again, follow the directions on the label for that. Now, once you've taken care of all the insect problems, you've taken care of the iron chlorosis, you're gonna need to re-stimulate this plant into growing and into blooming. And so we use 2 different fertilizers. The first is Fertilome's all-purpose or triple 20 water-soluble fertilizer. This is a great fertilizer for pushing new growth, new green on the plant. And so we'll use that, and then we also use the Fertilome Rooting and Blooming 958-8. That high phosphorus number right there is what's going to push the flowers on your plant to come out and re-bloom. So I would recommend using these at 1 teaspoon per gallon of water. For a 12-inch basket like this, we would use about 3/4 of a gallon of water, and I would fertilize these every other watering until your plant starts to recover and starts to look good. So anyways, that's just a few tips on how you can take care of your hanging baskets, how you can deal with aphids on them, how you can deal with tobacco budworm on them, and how you can deal with the iron chlorosis. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching, and have a great day.